Okay folks, here's a quick review of the Biggs Darklighter figure that was produced by Hasbro as a part of the Star Wars The Black Series line of products. I picked this up at Target for $9.99. Alright, Biggs was one of Luke Skywalker's childhood friends on Tatooine. Unfortunately, many of the scenes showing Biggs and Luke together in the first Star Wars film were cut from the finished film that ran in 1977. But a scene featuring them talking to each other, as well as Red Leader, just before the Battle of Yavin, was reinserted into the special edition of Star Wars that was released to theaters in 1997. The other deleted scenes that featured Biggs and Luke together in the first Star Wars film were released on one of the special features discs that came with the Blu-ray set that was put out in 2011. Okay, Biggs is a character that I never had in any of my previous Star Wars figure collections, so I was able to finally add him into my Rebel Pilot roster when this figure came out. Okay, so when I got this figure out of its packaging, I liked what I saw. Facially, this isn't a bad likeness of, and I'm probably going to slaughter this poor man's name, so forgive me, Garrick Hagon. He was the actor who portrayed Biggs in Star Wars. The articulation joints on this figure were very stiff, but they are starting to slowly free up. Biggs has articulation in the head, elbows, forearms, mid-torso, hips, knees, and ankles. Now, one thing that I did notice is that Hasbro packaged this figure with his left knee turned to the side instead of facing forward. So my advice to you is to be careful not to accidentally break his left knee joint when you first get him out of the packaging. The uniform straps do impede the knee articulation a little bit, but not enough to raise a big concern on my part. Paint apps were pretty well done on this figure. I did find one minor chip in his left hip, but no other defects to speak of. So let me pause here, zoom in, and I'll give you a closer look as to what Biggs looks like. Okay. Alright, Biggs comes with two accessories, so let me pan down real quick and I'll show you what they are. The figure stand that you see him standing on was not included in the packaging, and that was purchased by me separately. Okay, first up, here's his flight helmet. Now, I like the detailing that went into this accessory, as the decorations look just like they did in Star Wars. The helmet fits right into place on his head, but be advised that this helmet is a very snug fit, so it will take a little patience on your part to put it on and take it off. And since it is such a snug fit, you could accidentally rub the paint off of his head if you're always adding and removing this accessory, like I said, due to its snugness. Okay, and finally, here is Biggs's Blaster. I believe this is a Blastech DL44. Now, regrettably, there was no holster for this accessory on this figure, and I thought that was an unfortunate oversight on Hasbro's part not to have a holster for the blaster. And also of note, it seems like to me that this pistol is a bit small for this figure's hand, so therefore he doesn't seem to be able to hold on to it very well, so be careful not to accidentally lose it. Alright, back to the figure itself. What I'll do now is a quick 360 of Biggs for you and let you see what he looks like from all sides. Okay. So overall, I like this figure. I wasn't happy to discover that his blaster didn't fit well into his hand, and that the joints on this figure were extremely hard to move. I also didn't like that Hasbro packaged the figure with his left knee joint being turned to the left instead of facing forward. So again, I will remind you, please check that left knee joint when you get this figure out of its packaging. If my figure came like that, then I'm sure there are other ones out there that are packaged with that same error. But on a more positive note, I am glad to have a Biggs Darklighter figure in my Star Wars collection. And as I said at the beginning of the video, this is a good likeness of, I'm going to try this again, Garrick Hagon as he appeared in Star Wars. So therefore, I think this figure deserves a good, bordering on great recommendation. In spite of the problems that I ran into with it, I feel that it is not a bad addition for your Star Wars figure collection, and it is worth picking up in spite of the problems that I ran into. Okay, so on that note, take care and stay tuned for my next review. Have a good one.